Hey everyone, it is Classic Tabletop RPG Friday, and that means we're getting ready to get back into Top Secret First Edition, continuing our series on hand-to-hand combat with the last video, y'all. Here it is, last video in the hand-to-hand combat series, martial arts. Oh yeah, that's what we're about to get into. But before we do that, just want to welcome all of you who may be new to the channel. This is RPG Elite, y'all. This is a plate where I attempt to put the RP back into RPG, put it back. And then how I do that, or try to do that, is by giving you tools, tips, tutorials, and real talk about the tabletop RPG space and culture. And mostly focusing on United States and what's happening here, because I don't know what's happening in your part of the world if you're not in the United States, but I do know what's happening here. And I tell you what, that real talk that I just talked about, whew, man, I must have hit a nerve in this last video. Oh my goodness. The real talk in that one had a mad exodus of people leaving this channel. That was the largest hit of subscribers that I have lost in one fell swoop. And you know, I was tame in that video. I already announced that I was gonna do some uncomfortable videos this year. And I forgot which video that was, but I did announce it, and I did one, and people took a mad exodus. And then I got jiggy with it in the comments, which is where I think a lot of people also made their decisions, because I don't play around when it comes to that. And you can just see from my comments, I don't play, because I ain't got time for games. But man, that was a mad exodus. And you want to know something? Let me let you in on just a little secret. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. And it's going to happen again. So the one thing that nobody can ever accuse me of is I'm just doing this to get views and subscribers. Now, this is part of the agenda, which I've talked about several times on the channel. Part of the agenda. Hey, enough of that. Let's get into the video. And also, this is what I want you to do. I want you to either skip to the end or go all the way through this video and get to the end, because I'm going to be talking about a giveaway that is going to happen this month. And I'm going to tell you how you can get in on it on the other side. And I'm also going to have, like I always do, question of the vid. So see ya then. The martial arts in Top Secret 1E is involved. This is the place where it gets crunchy, y'all. Because of the preciseness of martial arts strikes and the complexity of the defense and all the rest of that stuff, you know, the cool stuff that you see in movies, the descriptions and everything have to be just as precise. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to break it down with some defense, some basic defense, what that looks like. We'll break it down with the offense, and then we're going to go ahead and do a couple phases. And we're just going to do as many phases as we can with a maximum of 3, because the combat could end a lot sooner than that. Okay, so here we are with some basics on defense. We'll just go through certain sections of this, because these are things that are important to understand in combat, because a lot of combat, like your boxing and sword play, your martial arts, your basic non-trained combat, they all operate with this basic understanding. So the first thing we're going to have to understand is our situations. Remember situation 1, 2, and 3? You can go to like the wrestling hold downs, and it says situation 1, 2, and 3. Now, as far as what all that means, you're going to have to go to the wrestling combat video and check it out to see what it means. But normally you're supposed to write all that stuff down. And basically this top portion says you don't have to write it all down, just put S1, 2, or 3. And also, just as a heads up, I did S1 and didn't do S2 and 3 because of how you figure it out. Normally, you wouldn't have that information, and if somebody picked S2 or S3, they could, because they wouldn't have the information that I had. But I just wanted to make it simple for an example for you guys. If a specific defensive maneuver is selected, the following can be written. And this is one of the important basics. You have to write the side that you are defending against or protecting. So for example, down here it talks about a right parry.
or left block. You have to write down the side. Now you don't have to do that for stuff like non-trained holds or wrestling holds downs and things like that, which would be self-explanatory. You don't have to do it for that. Another thing is a defender cannot select as his or her two choices both sides of the same defensive maneuver. So you can block left and block right could not be accomplished simultaneously. Different sides for different maneuvers, however, may be chosen. Block left and parry right would be legal. However, they did not cover whether the same side for different maneuvers, let's say a block left and a parry left, could be done. Now, me personally, I'm going to allow that in this combat because they don't cover it, and it makes sense to me that you be able to do that. So we will do that. You just can't do the same one for the same maneuver. This one down here is important as well. When the offensive and defensive maneuvers are revealed simultaneously and both fighters have written maneuvers or chosen a card, whatever, two rights or two lefts means same side. What that means on the martial arts table is that same side blocking would mean that he defended on the right and she attacked on the right. That's what same side means. If they are doing opposite, one attacks on the left and the other does a defense on the right, that would be opposite. That's important to understand when you're looking at that table to understand where exactly that you should be looking. So that is basic defense, real quick through that. So let's look at a couple other things for defense as well. So just like in normal combat, the defender gets to choose two different defensive maneuvers. However, they have the option of choosing two defensive maneuvers on the opposite side, which is like normal. Now, the caveat here for martial arts is that if they're doing this, then it has to be one arm and one leg defensive maneuver. So let's look at the table so you guys know what I'm talking about here. So in this situation, if you are going to choose two opposite side maneuvers, one has to be an arm maneuver and one has to be a leg maneuver. So up here, they says arm catch left, leg block right. So that is what you have to do if you're going to choose two on the opposite side. Now, there are 5 special maneuvers, which are over here. There are 2 things that we're going to look at here. Of the 5 special maneuvers, you can only do one of these. And if you do one of these, that's the only one that you can do. It says it up here. The last 5 maneuvers are special defensive maneuvers. A character choosing one of these maneuvers cannot choose an additional defensive maneuver that turn. So if you're going to choose one over here, then just know you ain't going to be able to choose another one. Now, in the example that they give in the book, they give an example of a guy who doesn't have martial arts going against someone who does have martial arts, and they're still able to choose 2 maneuvers over here in the special defensive maneuvers. First time, just chooses ducking. Second time, uses leaping. Doesn't really make any sense if they just said this up here. So that obviously is a boo-boo. So we're going to go with what it says up here when we're doing our mock combat here in a second. Just ignore the example. Okay, so another thing to keep in mind is the injury modifiers table and how that will affect things when you're going left and right. The main thing that we're going to be looking at here is down here at the offensive fighter's limb use. If you remember a little while back when we created Sarasota, you had to choose the handedness. Normally, what you're supposed to do is just choose the handedness of the individual who's playing the character. But another way you can go about doing this is just basically that there's about 10% of the people in the world who are left-handed. So what you want to go ahead and do is roll some percentile dice, and if you get 10 or less, then they're left-handed. That's another way to do it. But going back to the injury modifiers table, if you are using your arm or leg, which is not your strong leg or arm, it's going to be a -1. So that's something to keep in mind as well when it comes to that. Now, over here is another thing, but since we're not going to be doing that, we will look at this a little later, probably at the end of the video. I'll just throw it in there so you guys can know what I'm talking about, because all of this goes way back when we were looking at the weapons table. So there we go. We've got all of the preliminary things out of the way. So the first thing we need to do is we need to compare their surprise ratings to see who is going to get the advantage. And you know it is going to be Sarasota, because his surprise is 81. Her surprise is 128. So she's going to strike first. And the first place that we are going to go to look at that is going to be here on the martial arts striking injury table. First thing she's going to do a right elbow to the nose. And that's Z damage, y'all. And if we look back at the combat damage, she's doing a minimum of 8 points if she hits. It's going to be 9 points because of her fitness rating. So let's go ahead and look at what the Diner Thug, I'm going to reset this, playing around with it earlier. Let's look at what the Diner Thug does in terms of his martial arts defense. Now, here we have all of the left, right leg, and the left and right arm. We just put it all on one table, and so we're just going to roll for 2 of them. Now, if we roll a special maneuver in the first one, we're going to switch over to the special defensive maneuvers table and just roll once. So let's go ahead and roll for the first one. Got a block with the left leg, and let's roll with the second one. Now, since the special maneuver came in as the second roll, we're going to roll again. And a parry with the left arm. So I am going to pull up the table for us, and then we're going to put this over here so we can see what we've got. So we got a block with the left leg with an elbow, and we got to go down to the leg defensive maneuvers with an elbow with the left leg. So that's an opposite side block. So an opposite side block is going to be an A and a C. Uh-oh, not so good. Means she's going to take damage. So let's go up here to this top one, and let's see what happens with a parry with the left arm and an elbow. Oh, we got an opposite side parry and a B and a D, which is the best thing that can happen, because a B means no damage and D means he gets the advantage. That will be the first phase of combat, and it's looking pretty good for the Diner Thug, and he's getting ready to throw down and do a little something. So the Diner Thug for phase 2 here is going to do a right fist to the temple. So he's going to be doing some damage as well. So we're talking about Z damage over here, y'all. High damage. If he hits, it's on like Donkey Kong. Might lay Sarah out. Good possibility that may happen. Go over here with a martial arts defense and see what Sarah's going to do. I'm just going to do the same thing as I did with the Diner Thug. Okay, that one there is a parry with the left arm. That's looking good for her. It looks like she's getting ready to regain her advantage. Let's go ahead and see what we can get on the second one. And that's a block with the left leg. Okay, that's not going to do any good for her. I can tell you that right now. So let's go over here. So we've got that. Let's put this up. So we got a parry with the left arm and a block with the left leg. Now I'm going to go with the one that I know is not going to do anything, which is this block with the left leg. So he does a hand attack, and he does a opposite side block. And that's an A and a C, which means that takes damage and he gains the advantage. So let's go to the one that I know is going to do a little something for her, which is a hand attack against a parry on the opposite side. Uh-oh, it goes right back to her and does no damage. So now we're at a stalemate in phase 2, and let's roll on to phase 3 since Sarah gets advantage and see if she can do a little something different. So we're looking at this, and we are going to go with a kick with the heel to the solar plexus. Okay, kick with the heel to the solar plexus does Y damage, and she's going to do it with her left leg, though. She's going to switch it up. So a left kick with her heel to the solar plexus. So now we have to see what's going to happen on the defensive side of things. Let's roll. We got a right leg block. Man, I already know what's going to happen. And a right arm catch. So we go back to the table that we want to look at here. Let's go with the one that I know is nothing's going to happen. This catching with the right arm with her left leg. Okay. So she's got a foot attack, and this is an opposite side catch. So this is a B and an M. So B means no damage, and an M means something special. So let's go to our combat results and check it out. So an M in this case means the catch is successful, so he catches it. The defender gains the advantage and becomes the attacker. If fighting continues immediately on the judo throws combat table, the other fighter gets only one defensive maneuver in that turn. However, since we're doing martial arts, we're not going to go to judo, because normally that's what you would do. You would switch back and forth between all these different styles. But in this case, we're just highlighting martial arts. We're going to keep it in martial arts. So there's B and an M for that. But we also had another one, which was a block with the right leg. So this is an opposite side block. Okay, so let's go here with an opposite side block. Okay, it would be no damage, but she would keep the advantage. So we're going to go over here with the BM, and he is going to get the advantage again. So what we have here is nobody's doing any damage. We got some blocks and everything going on. And then we would go to the fourth phase, but we're not going to go to the fourth phase right now because we're only going to do a total of 3. But you get the gist of this, right? And you just keep going back and forth until somebody scores a hit. And if both of them are skilled fighters, it could be a minute. Now, I told you that I was going to let you know a little something about this offensive fighter's hand-to-hand weapon value. If we go to the weapons table here, pull her up, all right, you will see that this last column on the right-hand side is HWV. That is the hand-to-hand weapon value. And so if you want to see if there's any extra damage if you are wielding this weapon as a melee weapon, then you would take the hand-to-hand weapon value, then you go back over to the injury modifiers table, see where it falls to see what kind of extra damage that it may do. Now, the place that you would want to go is probably down here with other weapons, which is mostly melee weapons down here. Look at this right here. Axe, 150. Woo! Woo! If we go over here, that is an extra 3 points of damage, almost 4 points of damage. Most of these, like a 35 right here with a knife, that's going to give you an extra point of damage. Right here, the 52 right here with a hunting knife, that'll give you 2 points of extra damage. So there's a couple things in melee that act better as melee weapons, and because of that, you have extra damage that go along with it. Now, I haven't seen anything that's up in the 200 to 300 or more than 300. I've seen absolutely nothing with that kind of hand-to-hand combat value. And I've got both the companion and the core book. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they planned on making something and just never did. But that is where this would come into play. In our situation, obviously, we didn't have it because it was just fisticuffs. But you can use something and then look to see if it's going to cause any more damage for your character. So that's it, folks. The whole kit and caboodle for hand-to-hand combat, ending it up on martial arts.
Okay, so for the one part where I messed up and put it on the wrong table, the results are exactly the same. So the BD, which means that no damage and person gets the advantage. It's the same thing with the BM that was at the top that I said that it was, but it wasn't. Same exact results in that. And I'm talking about the BM on the table, not talking about the BM that you might be thinking of.
Bad baby, bad baby.
Okay, let's get into this giveaway because I'm excited about this. So the guys over at Miss Wall Studios, who are the creators of Chronos Builder, has given me a couple of free keys, not a couple, but 3 actually, free keys to give away. And I'm going to start doing it once every month for the next 3 months. And I have decided that I'm going to try to give something away every month for the year of 2023, which is my surprise to those of you who saw some of the things that I had planned on my community tab a while back. This is kind of one of those other little extra things. But there is a caveat. Yes, there's a caveat. And the caveat is that you've got to become a part of the LEET Squad. And you have to stay a part of the LEET Squad in order to be eligible to get these prizes. And also, I think I'm going to throw in some extra content. Thinking about it, y'all. I really am. So in order for you to become part of the LEET Squad, you got to click on the link that is down in the description below. There's going to take you to a page. On that page, you're going to put in your name and you're going to put in your email, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to give these things away to you people. Got to have a way of contacting you. At that point, you become part of the LEET Squad. You will be eligible for monthly giveaways. Also, you will get some extra content that I'm thinking about putting together. Sometimes that content is short and sometimes that content is long and exclusive to LEET Squad members. But you got to become part of the LEET Squad. And obviously, you got to stay part of the LEET Squad in order to be eligible every month. So, like I said, the link is down in the description below. I'm going to be giving away a copy of Chronos Builder's map-making beast software. Oh, you're going to love it. I've done some videos on it. I'll have links in the description below of those videos that I've done on that as well. And I've got another one that's coming up on Tuesday, God willing. So you guys will know just exactly what you will get. And at the end of every month, on the last day of the month, I will go ahead and I will announce the winner for the monthly giveaway. There it is. That's how I roll, y'all. Let's go to the question of the vid. And the question of the vid is this: martial arts, baby. We know we like it. We like it when we see it in movies. Okay, so here it is. Which martial arts style do you think is the prettiest? I ain't talking about the most effective. I'm talking about the one that just looks the coolest. You understand? Which one do you think, man, I know that's not effective, but it just looks dope. And I'm talking about a true, pure martial arts style. So what that means is no mixed martial arts, something like jiu-jitsu, Keto, Kung Fu, whatever. Which one do you like the most? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. Be great to hear from you guys. Hey, y'all, if you like this video, go ahead and crush the like button. Oh, yeah, I know. It's been a while. Had to bring it back, y'all. Bring it back also. Hey, if you want to stick around, especially after that mass exodus that I just had, I don't know why I'm laughing at that. I don't know why. Don't know why. But if you want to stick around, go ahead, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell as well. Folks, I got to get out of here. I got to do my snagglepuss.
So exit. Stage left.
Hey, if you got a game this weekend, then happy gaming. I hope it is a great RPG Elite session. Until the next time, y'all, I'm going to catch ya on the flip. Peace. 5,000 leets, a brother is outie.